Good afternoon, everyone, and to those of you on the West Coast, good morning. I would like to welcome you to today's presentation titled Shared Responsibility Penalties under ACA. I would like now to introduce you to our speakers for today's webinar. We have Matt Kirsting, Senior Consulting Actuary, Kathy Bakich, Senior Vice President and National Health Compliance Practice Leader, and Norm Jacobson, Senior Vice President. Over to you, Norm.
Okay, so good afternoon. We know that this is quite a complicated topic. Getting into the employer shared responsibility penalty, what we really have is that if you're a large employer, which is more than 50 full-time employees, and 99.99% of you guys are going to be in that boat on the phone, so you're going to be responsible to meet these rules. And if you are less than 50 and you need some guidance on that, we could take that up as a follow-up. You could call me and we'll arrange to talk about that. Full-time, part-time, it doesn't really matter what you call full-time or part-time on your campus. What matters to the government is 30 hours a week. So 30 hours a week is going to be a very important statistic to keep track of, to figure out how you credit hours, and we're going to talk more about that during the session. And the penalty isn't automatic. The penalty only comes upon when someone goes into the exchange and gets a subsidy for coverage. And there's a lot of different ways that penalty is applicable, and this is going to be something, again, we're going to talk about later. The effective date of this shared responsibility penalty is 1/1/2014, and there are some transition rules which, thankfully, Kathy can explain, and I would have big trouble with that one. So we'll get to that sometime later in the presentation. So the question is, can individuals with employer-sponsored coverage receive a federal subsidy in the exchange? And the key here is generally no. And again, based on your plan design, there's two tests that would allow an employee to get a subsidy in the exchange. One is the employer does not offer a plan that's at least 60% value, actuarial value. And that is not looking at contributions. The second piece says it's going to be affordable. And affordable is defined as the premium you charge can't be more than 9.5% of household income, with a very big emphasis on household income. So it is going to be what the household earns and not what the individual at your campus earns. So, again, 99.999% of you are going to offer a plan that is going to meet the 60% test, and we'll talk about the significance of that in a second. So what is the penalty? So the penalties are twofold, two types of penalties. The first one we're going to talk about is if you don't offer a plan that is going to meet the 60% actuarial value rule. So that means you don't have a plan that's not worth 60% on an actuarial basis, which more than likely would mean is you don't offer health coverage at your institution. You decide, I'm getting out of the business. I'm going to be the first one to lead higher ed down that road. So I'm going to be innovative and eliminate active health coverage.